are listening to the 10 radio with Mia. 23 years in the game, still shifting gears, still dropping gems, and still gorgeous truck her strong. Let's roll.
This show is not suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
What the f?
Hey, what's up, everybody? You are tuned in to 10-4 Radio, the show that keeps your mind in gear while you chase the next mile. I'm your host, Mia, your favorite trucking IT, 23 years, transportation professional, CDL plug, and the one that's going to remind you to aim high in steering and in your career and in your life. If you're riding, sliding, grinding, or just trying to stay awake out there, this is the spot for you. Real talk, road talk, career talk, and mindset checkups. You heard me? Tonight, we're chopping it up about what's really going on in the CDL world, the CDL schools, all these changes, FMCSA heat, and what that means for new drivers trying to get into the game. So before we start, hit the like, share, and follow button and let somebody know that your favorite trucking IT is on air. But before we get started, y'all already know the drill, okay? When I say 10-4, what y'all supposed to say? When I say 10-4, y'all say, let's roll. 10-4? All right, that's what I like. Let's get into it. Welcome to the yard. While I'm sipping my tea. All right, y'all. So listen, this has been trending a lot. And so I was like, you know what? Let me get on and do a little bit of talking about it. And I said I was going to do better with really trying to bring what's happening in real time because I'm real bad at it. Like I'll see it, and because I read it, I get the emails. I'm always kind of in the articles and in the news, anything that's pertaining to FMCSA, DOT, any rules changing with CDL, I'm like right there. And I put it in my notes. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get on and I'm gonna talk about it, and then life be lifing, and I just don't ever do it. And I said I was gonna get better at it, but I got time today. I got my tea, got a little honey in it, so I wanted to talk about what's really been going on in the transportation realm, right? So yeah, okay. So let's talk about it we're gonna break this down in yard terms, right? We talking yard style. So you know how like you be minding your business and then you look around and realize somebody been doing something the wrong way, but they've been doing it the wrong way like for a long time. That's pretty much what's happening right now. FMCSA basically said, I that's enough. Okay. Too many schools is not following the rules. Too many license issued that shouldn't have been issued, which we know we've been seeing that in the news. And then too many people skipping steps. Like FMCSA was like, yeah, and no. So and this is how I'm breaking it down. When I'm listening to it, this is how I break stuff down in my mind. I talk about it in real, like how I hear it. And so this is how I'm hearing it. They just was like, nah, we got something to do. So instead of giving everybody like a talking to, like your parents, they just came through like, yep, shut it down, You shut down. You shut down. You shut down. Everybody. They did an Oprah on y'all. They did an Oprah. They came through like Oprah giving a card. So if you haven't been following, so thousands of schools are gone off the registry. Um, Thousands more are on notice about it. So everybody found out like a teacher walked in. You know how the teachers walk in and they'd be like, "All right, pop quiz." That's pretty much how that. Again, this is how I see it happening in my mind. It may not be facts. These may not be facts. This is probably not how the FMCSA walked in. But y'all, again, in my mind, that's how it happened. So I don't know, y'all. What y'all think about that? Like, do y'all think it? Like, what do y'all think? Why? Where do y'all think this is coming from? So, again, if you haven't been following it, let's talk about what actually changed. So let's talk about the first change. And let me, because I got my little notes, because I want to make sure I'm talking about what I'm talking about correctly. So, where is my pen? Came unprepared while I'm talking to y'all. So I know the first thing that I wanted to talk about was the non-citizens CDL restrictions, right? So now this one had the whole internet in an uproar. The FMCSA came out with the rule basically saying certain folks, especially people not permanently living in the US, can't get or renew a CDL or CLP like before. So that was the first. I think I'm sure it was some more before that, but that was the first one. And it was a mess. Some states stopped like issuing them, period. Um, some paused, some said we don't even know what to do. Don't call us, call them, or wherever them is at. That's what some states said. And then boom, the courts came in, hit the brakes, but now it's in a weird yes, no, maybe zone. At least that's how I'm taking it. Depends on the state. It's like a relationship with no titles. Like, I mean, we we kind of do what we do when we do it, but we just friends. Like, yeah, I'm not your girlfriend, I'm not your boyfriend. We cool, but you can't see nobody else, I can't see nobody else, but we ain't got no title. Let's not do that. That's pretty much how I, again, random. That's how I heard it. The second change was CDL schools getting snatched off the registry. So, which is where we're at right now. Baby, this one right here, this one shook shook the table. I don't want to shake the table because I don't want to shake my stuff off. And what was that show? Real Housewives? Is that where she shook the table? uh, so FMCSA reviewed schools and basically said only 56% of y'all are actually meeting the requirements. Where they do that at? That's what they said. You mean to tell me that almost half of the industry got pink slipped? Half of the industry got pink slipped, child. Mm. Listen, some schools didn't update their info. What's another one I read? Some schools didn't upload their training. Some weren't following the ELDT standards at all. They just was like, yeah, we'll never get caught. Yeah, we'll never get caught. That's how I heard it, y'all. And then there was actually some that really shouldn't even have been in business in the first place. We know we've seen and passed some of those where you looking like that's a school. The trucks be raggedy. It be on a dirt road way back in the trees and the bushes. You be like, how'd that happen? Mm, that's pretty much what happened. Now the students is calling like, and I've had students call me. Some students is calling like, Miss Mia, is my school still open? I'm like, uh, let me look. Let me look, baby, because I don't know either. Let me do a quick search to find this information out, but it's chaos. It's chaos. It also, but I don't know, it's also forcing quality control and honesty, right? Like I think it's definitely going to I think it's a good thing. I know I'm gonna get some backlash about that one. I don't see a bad thing. But let me keep going because I was talking about the changes that's been happening. The third one that happened was the medical card process got tighter. It, if y'all have to kind of pay attention and look at all these changes that's happening strategically, like back to back, boom, boom, boom. So the next one was the medical card process, right? When the new rule, your medical examiner has to be listed on the national registry, and that's period. No more hit or miss. What was it? No more. My cousin is a nurse, and she said, and then you just take it to her and go and get it signed. No, nope, can't do that. Um, Drivers gonna have to double check where they go, or end up with the CDL on hold, like a package lost in the mail. Mhm. Double check. Don't just take the easy way out. You also have to remember if stuff is if stuff sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Like just think like if a school is saying, "Yeah, we'll train you for two bands." I really, what's the quality of that training about to be for real? Like, come on, y'all have to be honest about that, right? So the fourth change that came was the clearinghouse, still clearing the clearinghouse. Period. So you got in trouble with drugs or alcohol, clearinghouse ain't playing about that, right? You will get locked out of your CDL until you go through a SAP program. That's point blank. Period. I think folks still think they can beat the system. I see it a lot. You can't. Now you may do it temporarily. You may do it like for a period of time, but who wants to live like that with their livelihood? Like you have to realize eventually whatever you're doing is going to catch up to you, right? No? You think that? I don't know. I don't know why you would think something like that's not going to catch up to you, baby. Because in 2025, not these new oversight changes, I don't think you're gonna be able to do too much of anything to where it's gonna be like under the rug. Okay. So just have a sense of integrity. Okay. As much as I joke, as much as I laugh, I'm really big on integrity. I'm really big on honesty and moving with intention. So just do the right thing because it's the right thing, right? Don't play with your money. Just, do what you need to do. If you are serious about the transportation, then do what you need to do to make sure everything is legit. Make sure nobody could come back to you and say, yeah, that CDL that you have is no good. And now the job that you probably love is no more. And now your household is in an uproar. You see how that trickles down? Don't give anybody any reason to um mess with your money, period, or your career. I mean, everybody has different aspirations. One thing I took seriously was my driving record. Not always did I do that though. Again, I've been in transportation 23 years. So like when I first got my driver's license, at 16 or I get it at 15 or 16, and then I think I got a ticket at like 18 or something, and then I got another ticket. I didn't take that stuff seriously. It wasn't until I got into transportation and I remember getting my CDL and I got a ticket. I got two tickets. One was for like some tint or something, which is not really a moving violation, but one was for speeding. And I remember learning about points and the point system, and I remember losing a few jobs because I had these points on my record. And I didn't understand that because I was only like 23 or 24 when I got my CDL. So I didn't understand points and what this meant. And I started asking questions, and I realized that hindered what kind of jobs I could get. And so I remember going to get those points that I had on my system expunged off of my record. So it was like, so expungement, like doesn't show up, it's gone. Yes, I had to pay a little bit more money to do that, but it was worth it because I took my career seriously. From that point on, I have not had a ticket, because one thing I'm gonna not do is start racking up points at this age of 45. Like, no, my career has been good, but I take my career seriously also. So again, going back to my point, if you take your career seriously, if you take this industry seriously, protect your CDL. That's all I'm saying. Now, if you don't do what you want to do, who am I? Who am I? I took my career seriously because I knew it was something that I wanted to be a long lasting career. I looked at the future versus the right now. I'm a very forward thinker, so I always talk about that. But we'll talk about that in another podcast. But anyway, so let's talk about what this means for y'all, right? The newer CDL students or people that's looking to get their CDL. Baby, listen to Auntie, okay? Do your homework. Don't, like I just said, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Do your homework. Just because the school got a Facebook page and a truck parked in the field don't mean they legit, boo. It don't mean they legit. Do your research. Get online. Start asking questions. Reach out to Gorgeous Truck Hers. That's what we here for. When y'all don't know, and y'all kind of confused on something, or y'all just don't know which direction to go, reach out to somebody. It's okay to ask questions. Gorgeous Truckers is a mentorship program. We are here to help you navigate your career. That's what we do. I promise I'm not going to lead you wrong. And if I don't know the answer, because again, I've only been doing this 23 years, but I don't know everything. And you will never know everything in transportation. But if I don't know, guess what I'm going to do? I'm gonna use a lifeline and call somebody else. That's what you do. You use your resources. And if I don't know, I'm gonna find out for you. So do your research, okay? Ask certain questions to these schools. Ask, are you currently approved on the FMCSA registry? And you don't even have to ask them that. You can really go and do that yourself. And I'll link that FMCSA registry in the description. Go check them out. Go see if they're listed on the FMCSA registry. Ask them, are your instructors actually uploading my ELDT? Ask them that. Who's in charge of uploading my information? Now, if they get to stuttering, like I got that, what had happened? What? Don't just go ahead and say thank you. Okay, thank you. I appreciate the work. I appreciate the information. I'll be in touch. Get the hell out of there. Get the hell out of those people's establishment. No, don't. No. Okay, leave. Now, for schools, this is not the season for sloppy paperwork. This is to the schools and the CDL programs. This is not the season for sloppy paperwork. Make sure your affairs are in order. If you ain't doing ELDTs right, if you ain't logging training, if you ain't keeping your documentation in order, if your instructors are freelancing, FMCSA is coming like the repo man. Mm-hmm. Y'all heard me. FMCSA is coming like the repo man. They coming in, and they ain't even waiting until it's dark. Yeah, they pulling up in the daylight, and they about to shut shit down. I'm just saying, get compliant. Just get compliant. Again, not only just talking to the students, we talking about integrity. Do the right thing because it's the right thing. You know your instructors need to have their shit in order. You know your paperwork and your documentation need to be in order. Fuck is you doing? What you just over there you just got students going through and you don't think paperwork is important? Dealing with the FMCSA and DOT? What's his name? What's that comedian name? To say who raised you? Who told you that was okay? Documentation is everything. So I ain't gonna go off too much into that, but yeah, just make sure your stuff is together. All right. Now for carriers, stop hiring just anybody with a CDL without checking where they were trained, when they were trained, and if the documents are real. Did you hear what I said? Stop hiring anybody with a CDL without checking where they were trained. I need to put some echo. And if their documentation is real. Did y'all hear that? Okay. I just wanted to make sure y'all heard me loud and clear. But the curious is gonna say, but Mia, they said they got their license last week. Yeah, baby, but where? From where? Hmm? Where you get your license from? Hmm? Oh, you got it from trucking 123 on Dirt Road 10. Okay. Yeah, let us look into this and we will get back to you. Never. Stop hiring just anybody. Ask questions. That's all I'm saying. Okay. So now before hold on. So I wanted to show y'all this clip, just kind of going into the crackdown because I meant to show it earlier, but y'all know I'm random. I got off into a tangent. So let me show y'all this what they've been saying on the news if you haven't been following it. Okay. So real quick, let me show y'all.
Wheel of big rigs on America's roads. And now that crackdown is driving straight to the source, the schools that train these truck drivers. So this morning, we are learning thousands of them could be forced to shut down. News Nation's Marcus Espinoza joins us now live from New York City. Marcus, some pretty alarming stats here. What is driving this crackdown?
Hey, Kelly. Well, recent accidents, fatal accidents this year really have ramped up attention on truck drivers and then also their training. It turns out a lot of these places operate as, quote, CDL mills, where they basically get people in and out and then onto the road as quickly as possible, perhaps bypassing safety standards there. Now, federal prosecutors and this review have highlighted that 44% of them may be in jeopardy of losing that accreditation, many closing, many not actually following the rules here, that they don't meet government standards, that 44% number, putting thousands of them at risk for closure. So out of the 16,000 licensed truck driving programs nationwide, the Transportation Department says close to 3,000 could lose accreditation unless they fix serious training and record-keeping failures, and they only have 30 days. Another 4,500 could face the same thing. That means hundreds of thousands of aspiring drivers could see their training invalidated, slowing their path to a commercial driver's license. Officials say many of the schools were operating like CDL mills, as I mentioned, offering quick turn courses without that proper behind the wheel or classroom training.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it right there. Did y'all hear what he said? Quick turnaround, pretty much operating like CDL mills. I just was talking about that earlier. So yeah. And did y'all hear him say that some CDL students will be getting their training like revoked, pretty much? Like you're gonna have to probably go back through that training again. So y'all need to double check and make sure that the school that you attended is not in that arena. Just saying. Now, what's unsettled? I mean, because we know this story is not over, right? So, if y'all seen, federal court put a pause on some of the new restrictions, but that doesn't mean everything is kind of like back to normal. So yeah, they kind of paused it a little, but there's still some states not issuing certain license. Some are still confused. FMCSA is still reviewing schools, and new guidance is coming. We just don't know exactly when. So everybody in the industry, really, trainers, students, carriers, we all got to stay flexible and stay informed. The one thing I learned within transportation is you have to be flexible. You have to adapt to change, because I mean, transportation is a forever evolving and changing type of industry. And there's always something happening. And just look at this. This is a prime example. So you have to stay flexible. That's all I'm saying. So my takeaway, I guess, or reality check from me, I'm gonna keep it 100. So I've been in transportation 23 years. And honestly, I feel like we need this cleanup. That's just my opinion. As you know, I'm a safety professional. Safety is my thing. And for me, safety is all that matters. These schools pushing these students out in 2 weeks with no road training. I was just talking to some colleagues today about the restrictions and stuff, and how maybe some examiners are like pencil whipping some of the information that they're putting in the system. Some drivers have the manual restriction, and they didn't even, or the manual, they're able to drive manual and they didn't test in a manual. How? So it's just a lot going on. And so for me, safety is everything. Integrity is everything. Standards matter, and lives matter. That's what it's all about for me. I get that some of these people that went through these CDL schools and meals are going to be impacted. They may be currently driving right now, and they may be great drivers, right? But you gotta get it the right way. Now, I feel like it's unfortunate too for the drivers that thought they was doing the right thing. They thought they was doing the right thing, and they've been bamboozled. And so they're going to be affected, and they may have been genuinely moving with integrity, thinking that they were starting their career and doing everything the right way. I feel for those drivers. That's unfortunate. I hate that. I really hate that for them. And the schools or the CDL mills should be held liable for that. These drivers that's already in their careers and driving, that may have to like do this again, or maybe get their CDLs snatched, they're going to lose money. Yeah, I didn't think about that side. I don't know, but this is my takeaway. If you're trying to get your CDL now, this is not the time to half step. This is not the time to half step. If you run a school now, this is not the time to play catch up. And you really should have had your shit together a long time ago. If you're a carrier, stop cutting corners just to fill some seats. Think of how unsafe that is. I mean, you care more about those loads than the lives of everybody on the road. Like, you don't want to do your due diligence and check. That's all I'm saying. So, I don't know. All right, yeah. I know I didn't went off a little bit, but that's the rundown. Okay. If if you want to get into trucking, start a school, or you're confused about how all of this affects you, period, reach out to me. Let's talk, right? If you're still kind of confused on what you should do, which arena you should go in, or which avenue you should take, or which lane you should stay in, reach out to Gorgeous Truck Hers, and I will definitely, help you navigate your way, give you my professional thoughts and opinions about what you should do. You can visit the website here below at www.gorgeoustruckhers.com. Book a free consultation. I'm more than willing to discuss what your plans is and help you along the way. While we're at it, please make sure that you like, share, and follow with other people or somebody that you feel may need this information. Okay. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms. On YouTube, follow us at 10-4 Radio, the Yard Talk podcast. So that's kind of all I have. Again, gorgeoustruckhers.com, reach out to us, and I'll be more than happy to help. So, all right, y'all, I'm going to wrap this up. Thank y'all so much for joining 10-4 Radio, the Yard Talk, and listening to me going into my random rants. But, it's all in fun, and it's also in the name of educating and making sure everyone stays up to date and aware. So this is Mia, your trucking auntie, y'all know, signing off. Stay safe. Make sure you please stay compliant. Compliance is everything. And, just do what you know you need to do. Like we talked about, integrity, right? So stay safe, stay compliant, and stay ready. If you stay ready, that means you ain't got to get ready. Exactly. Thank y'all again for joining. 10-4.